Mount Everest is a big deal. Climbing it is like achieving the ultimate goal, apart from climbing K2, but it's also incredibly risky. Many who attempt to conquer it never return. Now imagine Shreya Shah, an ordinary person born in Nepal who lived in Canada. She wasn't into sports or climbing mountains. Yet, surprisingly, she set her sights on climbing Mount Everest. Despite warnings from her loved ones, including her husband, Shreya remained undeterred. Instead, she embarked on an intensive 2-year training regimen that didn't include climbing any big mountains. She frequented the gym, engaged in cardio exercises, and even mastered martial arts. She ran 11 miles with a heavy backpack, all in preparation for her Everest expedition in 2012. But here's the burning question. Can someone like Shreya, with no prior mountain climbing experience, actually reach the summit and then make it all the way down, or is she taking an enormous risk, risking her own life and those of others? Once Shreya decided to climb Mount Everest, she needed to find a company with the expertise to guide her and handle all the logistics. However, she soon discovered the expenses were much higher than she initially anticipated. After making numerous inquiries, she came across Utmost Adventure, a company that offered significantly lower rates compared to others. The catch: Utmost Adventure had never guided anyone to the summit of Everest before. Can you believe it? Despite their lack of experience, Utmost Adventure charged Shreya nearly $40,000. While this amount was substantial, it was actually less than what most other companies were charging. Do you think it's wise to prioritize cost-cutting when it comes to something as critical as climbing Mount Everest? When factoring in equipment, travel expenses, and the guide company's fee, the total cost of Shreya's journey amounted to almost $100,000. That's a substantial sum. Faced with the financial challenge, Shreya decided to try fundraising. She explored various avenues, from soliciting donations on climbing-themed websites to editing photos to create the illusion that she had already conquered Mount Everest. Despite her efforts, Shreya didn't manage to raise any funds through her fundraising endeavors. Do you think this was a sign that she should have reconsidered her plans? So in a bold move, Shreya took out a second mortgage on her house in Toronto to finance her adventure. Her husband must have been very understanding to agree to such a decision. Shreya Shah embarked on her journey to Kathmandu, Nepal in March 2012, ready to commence her training for the monumental climb ahead. The climb was scheduled for mid-May, allowing Shreya time to acquire the essential mountain climbing skills, such as navigating icy surfaces. Initially, the guides at Utmost Adventure Trekking observed Shreya's slow progress with some concern. However, they held on to hope that she could improve in time for the climb. As the climb date drew closer, doubts began to arise among the guides. The steep learning curve seemed as daunting as the challenge of Mount Everest itself. The lead Sherpa began warning about the dangers of attempting the climb. Despite these warnings, Shreya remained steadfast in her determination. She brushed aside concerns about the risks, insisting she was capable of completing the journey without incident. Undeterred, Shreya and her guides embarked on an 18-day trek from Kathmandu to Base Camp 1 at Mount Everest, situated at an elevation of about 17,600 feet. Then from there, on May 18, 2012, at 7:30 p.m., they reached Base Camp 4 at 26,250. Continuing, on May 19, utterly exhausted and nearing the summit, Shreya faced yet another obstacle, the infamous Hillary Step. This sheer 40-foot wall of rock and ice allowed only one climber to pass at a time, causing a 2-hour bottleneck. With each passing minute, Shreya and the other climbers inched closer to the perilous brink of the death zone. Entering the death zone above 26,000 feet, Shreya and her guides prepared for the final push to the summit at 29,032 feet. This treacherous zone earned its name due to the harsh conditions: extreme cold, high winds, and dangerously low oxygen levels. Despite the risks, approximately 150 climbers, including Shreya, attempted the climb within a 2-day window, hoping to seize the opportunity before the weather worsened. However, the combination of the large number of climbers and bottlenecks along the route led to significant delays. In a heartbreaking turn, the owner of Utmost Adventure Trekking and the senior Sherpa left Shreya behind, likely due to her slow pace. She was then left with 2 inexperienced Sherpas. Shreya continued her ascent, albeit at a painfully slow pace, frequently pausing to rest along the way. Amid the chaos, the owner of the guide company descended from the summit and witnessed Shreya's dire situation. He realized her oxygen supply was dangerously low, with 8 bottles already consumed. Urging her to turn back, he offered one final bottle of oxygen, pleading with her to prioritize her safety. However, Shreya adamantly refused, determined to reach the summit at any cost. At 2:20 p.m., against all odds, Shreya stood triumphant atop Mount Everest. Despite her depleted oxygen levels, she lingered at the summit, savoring the euphoria of her extraordinary achievement. However, the descent proved treacherous. Buffeted by fierce winds reaching speeds of up to 80 miles per hour and plummeting temperatures as low as minus 40 degrees Fahrenheit, Shreya and her guides battled against the elements. Exhaustion and altitude sickness took their toll, and Shreya's strength waned with each step. Desperate pleas for survival filled the frigid air as Shreya's legs faltered, her guides struggling to support her weight. With each passing moment, the thin air robbed her of precious oxygen, pushing her to the brink of collapse. By nightfall, Shreya's valiant spirit succumbed to the unforgiving mountain. As her final words, "Stave me," echoed through the icy expanse, her guides faced the grim reality of their own mortality if they stayed. At an elevation of 27,600 feet, still within the death zone, there was little they could do. With heavy hearts, Shreya's guides made the agonizing decision to leave her on the mountain. As climbers ascended and descended past her, Shreya's life ended. On that fateful day, May 19, the mountain claimed yet another life. On May 20, the day following Shreya's tragic death, 5 more climbers lost their lives on Mount Everest. 10 days after her passing, Shreya's body was finally retrieved from the mountain and later cremated in Nepal. The aftermath of Shreya's death prompted scrutiny of Nepal's climbing policies. Critics questioned why the government allowed inexperienced climbers to attempt such a perilous ascent, especially given the significant risks involved. Yet the allure of Mount Everest as a lucrative tourist attraction has led Nepal to prioritize revenue over safety concerns. Reflecting on Shreya's journey, it's evident that her overconfidence and stubbornness play a pivotal role in her downfall. Fixated on reaching the summit at any cost, she disregarded warnings and persisted despite the odds stacked against her. Shreya's insistence on borrowing money to fund her expedition only heightened the pressure to succeed. Faced with mounting debt and a singular focus on summiting Everest, she pushed herself beyond her physical limits, ignoring the signs of impending danger. Unfortunately, her poor husband lost his wife and had to pay back the second mortgage, a continuous reminder of such a tragedy. Tragically, Shreya's relentless pursuit of her goal led to her demise. Her slow ascent and rapid depletion of oxygen reserves left her vulnerable in the unforgiving death zone. Her training was inadequate, and opting for a cheaper company with less experience was the wrong choice. Perhaps another company could have dissuaded her from attempting Mount Everest, foreseeing that she would not survive. She needed more training, but would she have listened to them? Some people look at her and say, wow, she was so brave for chasing her dreams no matter what. But there are others who see her as a bit selfish. They say she put other people's lives at risk because she didn't listen to advice or prepare enough. Either way, her story teaches us about the dangers and tough choices that come with trying to climb the tallest mountain in the world. Do you agree with the choices Shreya made, or do you believe she should have made different decisions? I have all sorts of really good videos to do with real-life events. If you don't have time to watch now, add it to your playlist to watch it another time. If you got any value from this story, please like and subscribe. Until next time, bye for now.